the events A and B satisfy, probability of A is 0.4, probability of A given B is 0.6, probability of A or B is 2 times probability of A and B. Find the value of probability B given not A. So let's consider what we need. So probability of B given not A is equal to probability of B and not A. It may be probability of A not and B is the same, and divided by probability of not A. Probability of not A, it's 1 minus 0.4, so it's 0.6, so it becomes probability of B and not A divided by 0.6. So you can see that we need probability of B and not A. I see such construction B and not A, and I remember the next formula. It may be useful or required that probability of B can be represented as probability of B and A plus probability of B and not A. And let's consider what is given. Let's consider probability of A given B. What is it? It's probability of A and B divided by probability of B, and it's 0.6. And also given that probability, let's consider this probability of A or B, and we know formula for A or B. It's what? Probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B, and it is given that it's 2 times probability of A and B, and probability of A is 0.4 plus you can see that there is probability A and B, and probability of B, but from this we can represent probability of B as what? Probability of A and B divided by 0.6 minus probability of A and B is equal to 2 times probability of A and B, and you can see that we can solve it for probability of A and B, and hence find probability of A and B. So it becomes 0.4 it becomes 3 minus 1 over 0.6 probability of A and B, which is what? It's 0.6, it's 1.8 minus 1, it's 0.8, or 4 over 3 probability of A and B. Hence probability of A and B, it's what? It's 0.3. So probability of A and B is 0.3. Hence from this, probability of B is probability of A and B divided by 0.6, and it's what? 0.3 divided by 0.6, it's a half of 0.5, and then using this we can find probability of B and not A. So probability of B, it's 0.5, is equal to probability of B and A, it's the same as A and B. Probability of A and B is 0.3 plus probability of B and not A. Hence probability of B and not A is 0.2. And finally probability of B given not A becomes, it's this, which is required, and it's probability B and not A divided by 0.6, and it's 1/3. And that's all for this question.